Good evening. You're welcome to the Tuesday edition of Uctv News with me, Sunday Gloria Abwoch. Now today, the Electoral Commission has commenced a two-day verification and nomination exercise for presidential candidates at its new permanent home in Lubowa, Lweza, Makindye Ssabagabo, marking a key step in preparations for the 2026 general elections. The exercise opened with the nomination of NRM's presidential flag bearer, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Our reporter, Joseph Kabaale, has been on ground following this and now reports.
And the protocol will lead the aspirant to his for the proposer and the seconder. The Commission is also checking that the right
we have checked and verified the aspirants' papers as presented, and we find them in order. That he has fulfilled all the requirements as stipulated in the Presidential Elections Act. Therefore, I, Justice Makindye Simon, being the returning officer for the nomination of presidential candidates, declare Museveni Yoweri Kaguta a duly nominated candidate in respect of the presidential elections 2026, he having fulfilled the nomination requirements under the Presidential Elections Act, Chapter 179.
But really we have got two major thrusts. Thrust number one is to work with the middle class and the investors from outside to completely transform Uganda from a lower middle income country, which we are now. We are no longer a least developed country, we are now a lower middle income country, to high middle income country moving towards first world country. I think the idea is that in this Sanja which we are now concluding, if you check the figures, the GDP of Uganda has doubled, apparently. I had not bothered to check that, but they pointed it out, that at the end of the last Sanja, we were like 34 billion. We are now 66 billion. To double the size of GDP in one term is not a mean achievement. And this is what we intend to do in this coming term. And things are now much faster because we have everything that we didn't have in the past. We have electricity. We have the roads, although we need to repair some of the others. We have the telephones. We have the manpower, the educated people. We have the peace. That's why we are being flooded with more investments. Because people in the world are looking for a peaceful area, a peaceful and profitable area where to invest. Then crime. There is peace in the country. There's no war. The army cannot allow that. But there's a bit of crime and impunity. Criminals who are not handled because of some corruption among the people involved. The NRM structures need to come out and help expose crime and hold accountable all the criminals.
Robert Kasibante, the National Peasants Party presidential aspirant, has pledged to criminalize abortion once elected into power. Kasibante made the vow during his first media briefing as a presidential candidate shortly after being duly nominated by the Electoral Commission chairperson, Justice Simon Byabakama, this afternoon at Lweza, Lubowa, Makindye Ssabagabo in Wakiso district.
Twagala kujjawo ekintu ky'okujjamu embuto ekyabortion era bwe tunaakuzuulanga ng'oggyemu olubuto tugenda kuvunaana kubanga twagala eggwanga eririmu abantu abangi. Mulabye China erina market nnene kubanga erina abantu bangi. So twagala okulwanyisa, njagala bannayuganda mwenna muzaale mu gavumenti yange, ngenda kuteekawo okusoma okw'obwereere, ngenda bateerawo obujjanjabi obw'obwereere, ngenda bateerawo ebitongole ebyokukuza abaana. Bw'oba omuzadde nga owulira toyagala kumukuza ng'ogwo omutwala eri mu kitongole nga kimukkuliza, gwe ng'omuleeta ng'agasa eggwanga. Namaze dde okukola enteekateeka n'ekibiina. So kati saagala muntu yenna ajjamu olubuto. Gwe weebuuze, singa maama wange yali mukyalo eri Kakindu Emwera, singa yajjamu olubuto, singa Munnayuganda mwandifunye pulezidenti alinga nze, kakati ngenda kukirwanyisa. So nga mmaliriza, njagala okwebaza bannayuganda mwenna olw'okutuwa emikono ne mutwesiga. Mbasuubiza tugenda kujja tutambule, tubasabe obululu, tubasabe obuwagizi.
The Uganda People's Congress Party President Jimmy Akana has vowed to challenge the Electoral Commission in court after being blocked from the 2026 presidential nominations. Addressing press at the party quarters in Kampala, Akana accused the Electoral Commission chairperson Justice Simon Byabakama for undermining democracy, insisting that UPC had submitted all required documents on September 21st, 2025, yet his nomination was rejected.
And I want my day to present on behalf of UPC for the people to decide, not the Electoral Commission or not some other non-member or somebody who is not actual part of this process. But ultimately it's a conversation which the people of Uganda must have and are going to have. On the questions of what we're doing, as it was stated here, we're going to use every possible legal means to make sure not only are we heard, but we're seen to be heard and we're active on the ground. We're also going to use every legal avenue available to us. Throughout my politics, I have struggled to keep this party alive, and I'll continue to struggle. I have struggled to support my candidates, and I will support the candidates. At the end of the day, I expect UPC's numbers to be well represented in all levels of government. So in fact, the Electoral Commission should not have been even looking at this thing. If only one person in the name of UPC returned the signatures, what more do you need? Recently, at the iPod meeting, I was there with Joseph Kabaale. Who was I representing? I was there as a UPC president. I've been in parliament for the last 5 years on the UPC ticket. So, what is this issue? Faction. Why do you bring it up? If they really want, let us go to the field. We contest. End of the day, we'll see who is on the ground, who is not on the ground. So, this isn't factions. I don't know. Me, I know only UPC. And when I go to the field, I only know UPC. When I see a UPC flag bearer, that is the one I will support. And that's the same for all. I will ask all members of UPC. Look for your UPC flag bearer and put your support there, because UPC is here to work for the people of Uganda.
Thank you very much for watching the Uganda Catholic Television, UCTV News. We'll take a break and return with foreign news stories.
UCTV, good news for all.
Away from that, it is time now for Today in History. That's it with the Tuesday edition of UCTV News. Thank you so much for joining us at the Uganda Catholic Television. I am Sunday Gloria Abwoch. UCTV News returns tomorrow. Good evening and good night.